So on to the second of this year's Ardennes Classics, La Flèche Wallonne and its famous Mur de Huy. After Mathieu van der Poel's sensational win at the Amstel Gold Race last Sunday, and before Liège-Bastogne-Liège this Sunday, here was a chance for the climbers and punchers to taste glory, with defending champion Julian Alaphilippe and five-time winner Alejandro Valverde the men to beat. Shorter than most of the one-day classics at 195 kilometres, La Flèche is still one tough cookie, and the final part of the race is littered with climbs, including 3 gruelling ascents of the famous Mur. 175 riders setting off from Ans on a sunny but windy Wednesday, and 5 of them ended up in the day's break. Koen Bowman of Jumbo-Visma was joined by American duo Robin Carpenter and Joey Rosskopf, plus Tom Wirtjen and Kenneth Van Rooij. The peloton allowing the gap to swell out to almost 6 minutes at one point, but it was down to 3.5 heading towards the first of 2 laps around the 29-kilometre finishing circuit. A couple of attacks with a handful of riders looking to bridge across, led by Cesare Benedetti, Damiano Caruso and Pierre-Luc Perichon on his wheel, but Willem Schmidt was unable to follow. The splinter group failing to put much of a gap into the peloton though. Astana and De Koenig Quick-Step putting the hammer down for their leaders, Jakob Fuglsang and Alaphilippe, who came so close to victory at the Amstel Gold Race a few days ago. 3 left at the front meanwhile after the first climb up the Mur de Huy, Bowman, Rosskopf and Carpenter. The peloton upping the tempo on the second ascent of the Côte de Cherave. The chase group swallowed up and the pace even too much for some of the favourites, Peter Sagan and Dan Martin dropping out of contention. With the high speed making for some tense racing and resulting in crashes, a nasty one here for Domenico Pozzovivo and Roman Kreuziger, 4th last year. Adam Yates also going to ground. And after a second clamber up the Mur de Huy, they were all together again at the 28-kilometre mark. Thomas Marcinski attempting a late attack for Lotto Soudal, Poland's former road race and time trial champion, opening up a small gap. Slovenian road race champion Matej Morohic was quickly on his tail, and the 2 men managed to pull around 20 seconds clear, but they were eventually caught on the Côte de Cherave. And so, as predicted, it came down to the final climb up the Mur de Huy, a punishing 1.3 kilometres at 9.6%, with a spike at 25%. Around 25 riders in the leading group at the foot of the wall. And Fuglsang launching his attack. The Dane starting to pull away, but there was Alaphilippe on his wheel. The 2 rivals going toe-to-toe for the second time in 4 days, and in the end the Frenchman found an extra gear, gritting his teeth and holding on to make it back-to-back wins ahead of Fuglsang and Diego Ulissi. And what a season this man Alaphilippe is having. The world number 1 has now accounted for 9 of De Koenig Quick-Step's 25 victories in 2019. This his 3rd in a one-day race after prestigious triumphs at Strade Bianche and Milan-San Remo. The 26-year-old becoming the first Frenchman to go back-to-back at La Flèche Wallonne in this 83rd edition. He will now be switching his focus to Sunday's Liège-Bastogne-Liège. It's a really exhausting final circuit, and it was tense out there today because of the wind. Once again I got amazing support from my teammates. They did a brilliant job, especially in the final. It wasn't easy at the end there with Fuglsang, but I'm very happy to have won. Well, the 22nd edition of the women's race was held a little earlier on Wednesday on a shorter parcours of 118.5 kilometres, and world champion Anna van der Breggen was unstoppable on the final climb. The Dutchwoman powering to her 5th consecutive victory at La Flèche Wallonne, matching the record of the great Marianne Vos, as well as the men's world champion Valverde. So Van der Breggen able to celebrate along with Alaphilippe after the duo mastered the Mur.